Mike, talk a little bit about that because, he's done so much coming off the bench this year, but you kind of knew after game 2 in the second half that he was going to be in the starting lineup tonight. And to a man in the locker room tonight, they all said they expected Zebo to put on a show, and he did. How much fun is that to watch him do what he does?
Well, it's fun to see him succeed. It's fun to see him do the things he's accustomed to doing. He's done it for so many years here, and it was almost like he was like a secret weapon tonight. And we finally unleashed him, and man, he really changed the game. Hopefully, changed the series and gave us some confidence.
Mike, you took a lot of the responsibility on yourself after game 1. You felt like there was some shots you could have made and some attacks you could have made differently. But what's been different about your mindset from game 1 to tonight, where it seems like you're finding your rhythm again and finding what you want?
Really, I think the difference now is I'm actually looking to make more plays for guys and than to actually look for my shot, and that's making it easier for me to score. They give me a lot of attention, especially when I drive to the hoop. So if I can make plays for guys, get guys open looks, keep the ball movement, I think it allows my shot opportunities to be a little bit easier.
Mike, Lee Smith, Tri-State defender. Seems like you had a little different swag, a little different attitude in this playoff here than we've perhaps seen in earlier playoff series. Are you, and it's also one of the first ones where you're more of a focal point on offense, where you look to score more often. Can you kind of talk about your mindset and the attitude and swag that you seem to have a little bit more?
Really, I've had to change my mindset ever since the beginning of the year. When Coach told me he'd give me a lot more responsibility, in order for me to do that, I couldn't be the old Mike. I couldn't be quiet all the time. I couldn't be, reserved and patient and all these things that I was accustomed to doing. He wanted me to be aggressive from the beginning of games and always be looking for opportunities to make an impact on the game. So it's just for a mindset change. I've become more aggressive, almost angry to a sense when I play, and I think it's helped me kind of elevate my game.
Mike Eli Savoy, WHBQ Radio. Parker was so big in games 1 and 2. You guys held him scoreless tonight. What were you able to do defensively differently, or how were you guys able to shut him down?
Really, it was one of those games. I think he just, missed a couple early, and they're a system team. They move the ball a lot, and it's easy to, if you're not having a great night, to kind of get lost in it. So, I don't think that we necessarily did anything different. We'd love for him to not score again, but I know that's not going to happen. But it was a great team effort tonight defensively on everybody. So we just got to continue to play with that effort.
Mike, a lot of times this year they said, hey, if Mark goes off but Mike doesn't, they can't win, or Mike goes off and Mark doesn't, they can't win. But what does it say about this team when Mike, Mark, and Zach, when the 3 big guns on this team are all playing like you did tonight? I mean, makes you a difficult team to beat.
Yeah, I think most games that we're all hitting on all cylinders, we're winning those games, and if we can find a way to take advantage of that, try to find a way to kind of make sure everybody's getting their due in the game, we can win. And tonight it's just picking and choosing. One guy's got to go in early, continue to feed him, be patient. You're gonna eventually have your time to be aggressive, and we all just played off of each other tonight.
Jeff Calkins from the Commercial Appeal. I know you weren't part of it last year, but this team had lost 9 straight playoffs games and 10 straight to the Spurs. Is there a certain, I don't know if it's a monkey off your back, but now that you've done this, you can focus on beating them in the series. Is there a certain relief or joy that comes with winning a damn playoff game finally?
You can say that. It was good to win, definitely, especially against the Spurs. They've had our number for multiple seasons, especially in the postseason. So any win against them is good. But, we were so focused on tonight's game. It wasn't about the last 2 playoff series we've had against them. It was about tonight and showing that we have heart, showing that we have enough in the tank to show that we can win and give ourselves confidence and allow us to believe that, we can make this a series.
And Mike, how surprised were you that sequence at the beginning of the third quarter when you guys scored 5 points right out of the gate? They turned it over twice, and Pop basically, does the hockey lineup switch and changes everybody out. Was it difficult for you guys to maintain and to kind of say, "Oh, this is a little weird adjustment," or how did that affect you guys?
It didn't affect us at all. Our mindset was so locked in on our task at hand. Picking up full court, trying to be active defensively, that it didn't matter who was in the game. It didn't matter the lineups. We were just trying to make our impact defensively and not let up. And we did a great job of that early in the third and kind of setting the tempo for the second half.
Good time for 2 more, Lee and then Jarvis.
Mike, Pop is already over there strategizing for Game 4. You've obviously met him. The core four has met him in the playoffs multiple times, but you have younger teammates who either first time in the playoffs or first time against the Spurs in the playoffs. What do you tell them about how to get ready for what Pop is cooking up over in the other locker room?
Well, one, you can't be satisfied with tonight just thinking that we figured it out, because that's not the case. They're going to come back and make adjustments, and those adjustments can be something that you would never think of. He might start playing somebody that hadn't played all season, and they'll come in and kill us. So you got to be ready for whoever comes in that game. You got to be ready for whatever scheme. So we'll do the best of studying for our team and getting ready for the adjustments, getting ready for whatever Pop's going to throw at us, because it's going to be something, and we got to be ready.
Hey, Mike, right here. You knew you were coming back to this building after San Antonio, and you expected it to be hyped. How do you keep yourself from being overhyped in front of your home crowd and knowing that, that now that you got one, they'll be back with the towels again on Saturday?
There's a balance to it. You got to definitely use the energy from the crowd. Tonight I think that really helped us, just that much more, because we were working hard, kind of working harder than we've probably worked all season, and that's what it takes to beat the Spurs in one game. So to beat them in a series, you're going to need that, everything you can from your home fans and in your home environment. So we expect it to be rowdy again. We're excited to come back and play Game 4.
I promise I was make this quick, but this was that first step toward making this a series, like you mentioned. How much does that make Game 4 huge for you guys to not only prove to yourself that you can win this series, but it wasn't just a blip on the radar. The Grizzlies won one game to make this a true series by winning Game 4.
Yeah, well, Game 4 is going to be the ultimate test. It's going to be the most important game for us, in the sense that, if we come out with the same mindset, the same kind of intensity, to show that this wasn't a one-game thing, and that we can do it in multiple games back to back. That can change the series. It can literally, if we can get back to San Antonio 2-2, it's anybody's game. So, and that's why we look at it.
Mike, you look at the third quarter when Greg calls that timeout and he changes the entire starting lineup. They come back, and what do you guys think at that point, up 9?
Really, we weren't too caught up in it. I think that we know Pop is Pop. He does so many different lineups, and he'll put anybody in the game at any time. And really, it kind of got our awareness even higher. Like, they're changing something different's happening. But at the same time, we were so locked in on what we were doing that defensively, it didn't matter who was in the game. We were just going to attack the way we were attacking and be aggressive the way we were.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
There it is.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody.